Hi, this is Mike again. In this tutorial, we're going to look at part two of assigning work in Canvas in groups. So the previous video, I covered how to create an assignment and then to have that assignment be assigned to specific groups that you had pre-made before you go into the assignment screen. This video is going to cover the second part of this group assignment theme, and we're going to look at grades and just a couple of quick tips and tricks you can use when it comes to the gradebook. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to head into Canvas here, and we're going to go to same class I used in the previous video. This time what we're going to do is we're going to go to grades, and I'm just going to look at a couple of different things here. The first one is how to toggle between semester one and semester two. Using the view button is very handy, and you can go to filters and then you can look at specific things according to different groups that you have in your gradebook. For example, the assignment groups, modules, so on and so forth. One of the questions that I had was, what happens when one member of the group is missing? Well, that's pretty easy to handle. First thing that I want to show you is a very cool tool. So if you assign group work, what you can do is you can go to View, you can go to Filters, and then you can go down to Student Groups. And then what you can do is you can look at your gradebook in terms of who's in those specific groups. So I'm going to go to Group 1. And then when I assign the grade is going to apply to all the students in this group. And so all I have to do is just go searching for these particular assignment, and then that assignment will have the predetermined grade. Now, because this is just an example using a grade book, I haven't created an assignment or anything, but let's just say for argument that this golf skill short iron column right here, each student, because I awarded one student 100, it awarded them all 100 because they're all in the same group. Well, let's say one of those students is like missed the assignment. You can always go back in here and manually change the grade to a 0. Or what you can do is you can just change the status. Okay. If you come in here, you can change the color status. Let's say the student was absent, they have an excuse or whatever. All you'd have to do is just change the status to something like excused. You could create a new status using the gradebook features up here. You can actually create new statuses and colors. I have a whole video on that in the ETMS. But that's how you would go and do the individual grades if you needed to just kind of iron out a student who was missing from their group. So that's a pretty handy tool that you can use when going about group grading. And you can see the golf groups. What would happen is you would have, if you had multiple different groups created, you'd have a header, and then you'd have how many groups are in that header. So you can see I have golf skills quiz, and then underneath I have the test groups, and there's a bunch of groups in there. I could do that right here. And because I didn't put anybody in those test groups, it's empty, but that's kind of how it works. And that's pretty cool when you want to isolate the different groups to do your grading. If you have any questions, go ahead and email me.